guys, Super Century Side, and here's a video of iRacing, and there was an update like 2 days ago, and haven't been able to get a video out until like now. The last one I showed was the rallycross from here, so we'll talk about that later in this video, but there's been a whole number of changes. One of them is this car. A whole bunch of changes I can't really go through, but we're going to go through all the ones that I just want to talk about. Nothing really, I'm not going to go through every little detail. You can look that up in the release notes, but there's a couple new tracks, a couple new cars, new licenses, and a few other new things. So the first thing we're going to talk about is this car right here, and that's my strategy cover car. Now here is just a restart, a mock restart, you know, doing a little test. There's a lot of wheel spin now. Like on a slick track, you'll get some wheel spin on brand new tires, which is something we've been missing for what seems like forever. Anyways, that was just a quick little preview of the restart. You could hear the wheel spin. You should be able to see it on the throttle input here. Yeah, see, you can mash it, but it really spins it up. On old tires, it's just not going to happen. You got to really manage your restarts now, which is great. Or it'll be a horrible thing, we'll find out. So here's me just doing some laps at Atlanta, testing out the fixed setups for the, you know, the new adjustments to make the car actually feel low downforce. Our mid-corner speeds are way down now. Everything feels like it should, kind of. You know, they didn't lose just rear downforce. The front end's been, you know, the splitter's been reduced, you know, in the real world. So it's going to be tight, too, in the corner, while being loose at the same time. It's kind of a weird thing to explain, but you can see me twitch there. But anyways, that's the major thing of this car was that. Just making the car seem more low downforce. They also modified the track grip settings, too. Has them coming down pit road. We'll see what happens here at the end of pit road, but while we're waiting for that, the track has sort of been reduced in grip, so it doesn't really, so we're not going so freaking quick in the corners. So that's one of the major things I think this build. And another thing is that adds immersion is this: a pit crew finally servicing the car. So a much needed thing right there. I bet you listen to the sounds, you can hear it, but pit crew's not exactly 100% like perfect. They got some work to do. Like you can see my jack man hesitates a little bit because I barely missed exactly where I was supposed to be. But it's a start, and that's all I care about right now. Still got out a pretty decent quick, you know, pit stop. So while I'm driving here, you'll see some inputs and speeds in the corners. Before we were doing like 185, 190 through here. Now it's way slower, and this is a much needed change, though people are probably going to complain once you start messing with open sets. Things are going to be too loose, people are going to complain about it. Hopefully they don't, because this is back when cars were loose like this one was, or, you know, lower downforce feeling, even though we still have more downforce then, makes no sense. But whatever. So we're done talking about that car. If you want more details, I can put a video later some other time. But right now, here's another addition to this new build. Is a track in Knoxville. Pretty fun track. Unique in a way that it's super wide, but half of it's unusable because it's a giant berm, pretty much keeping you from going to up, you know, that little extra room. But that's what makes it fun. Unique track, pretty cool. I suggest you check it out. Not a free update, by the way. But anyways, here's another addition, and that's the Dirt Midget, which is basically a wingless sprint with less power, less everything. I want to say less tire, I don't know. Less weight. So it's even more ridiculous on the power to weight ratio. You can definitely hear what it sounds like. It's definitely different from the V8 wingless sprint, and this car is different, you know. It's not as insane as the wingless sprint. It's toned back a little bit. Like shooting a lion with a, semi-powerful tranquilizer. Alright, I was just letting you listen there before we get to this, which is the biggest part of the update, if you ask me, is Global Rallycross. And that's the little clip I had in the thumbnail where I did an endo or slash stompy, whatever the hell you want to call it. Something you see in motorcycle crap. And, yeah. What is there to say about Global Rallycross? If you know what it is, then you'll know why it's such a big addition to iRacing, since I think theirs is the best version so far. Though it's hard to put a difference between this and the Automobilista feel. Because I feel the Automobilista ones feel really good, but I don't know. People are going to try to compare it to Dirt Rally, completely different games. In Dirt Rally, I was way more in control of the car than I am on iRacing because of the torque split was way different. But let's talk about the cars. What you're seeing right now is the VW Volkswagen Beetle. That Scott Speed drives, and that's actually one of the default liveries is Scott Speed, so yeah. What can I say? It's a free car. That's a good thing. It'll get people into this. And between the two cars, this and the Ford Fusion, I think this car is more resilient to damage, which is something I'll talk about eventually. Alright, that was just a listen of the car, and here's the Ford Fusion, but let me finish talking about the Volkswagen. Like I said, more resilient to damage. It has more of like a neutral feeling, but it all depends on the track. If you mess with it, you can get the cars feeling almost identical, but I'm used to the Ford Fusion, but I actually think the Volkswagen sounds better. But anyways, we're done talking about that. We'll talk about the Ford. I said Ford Fusion, I don't know why. I meant Ford Fiesta is what it is, and yeah. I can't really say anything different. I mean, it's a little more susceptible to damage, but it's not really if you hit a wall with any of these things, they break so freaking easy, it's almost ridiculous. And I mean light taps. And I'm not talking like smacks with the wall. This is literally, you could put your hand in between the car and it will just hit your hand and be fine. No, no breakage of anything. But no, you do that and this barely touching the wall, it pushes in one of the wheels. And it will ruin your day. It'll pull it to either the left or right, making you steer. And if you are super unlucky, it'll make you have to turn like 90 degrees to one direction just to go straight. So this is one of the tracks. Let me talk about the tracks. The other one you saw with the Volkswagen was Daytona. There's two configurations of rallycross tracks there. It's at the old Daytona, and we're looking at the old Phoenix right now. I don't know how many layouts there are on this track, but have a listen. Telling you, those tire barrels are a danger. You touch one, it's going to damage your car again. So that's my biggest issue right now with Global Rallycross on here, is the car damage is a little bit too easy. I don't want it to be like super resilient because young people just throwing it in there, but don't have it break like it's made of glass. So that's my biggest issue again with Global Rallycross. I already said that, but whatever. They can fix it in the future, but for now, it's a pretty popular series on iRacing because there's a lot of people signed up. And, when you get with the right people, it's pretty fun. So that's my big deal with the new build, is this and the Cup car. Those are my two biggest points from this. if you want to know more about all this, like rallycross and, you know, the cars or tracks or anything iRacing, I'll do that in the future. Also, I'll have a tutorial, I guess, on how to drive one of these beasts and everything else that goes along with it. And a whole bunch of other things. I'll bring back the iRads or iRacing Advanced Driving School. So anyways, we're just gonna end the video here, and I say check it out on iRacing. Anyways, Sim Racing Chewy side.